Estoy en Köln, Colonia, vamos, Colonia. Alemania también, fijaos, este es el centro de la ciudad. Está justo al lado de la estación y allí al fondo no se ve casi, pero bueno, está la catedral. No sé, cada uno, es que está lloviendo, saque sus propias conclusiones. Colonia, Alemania. Ahora mismo aquí hace algo de sol, pero hace tan solo unos momentos estaba lloviendo prácticamente a cántaros. El invierno ya está muy cerca. De modo que aquí estoy para comprobar si lo de Frankfurt, la incertidumbre que el invierno generaba en la población, es tan solo una casualidad o más bien una regla que a partir de ahora reina en todo el país. Casi se me olvida. Además, Colonia tiene una peculiaridad muy especial. Esta... Dankeschön. Bueno, pues aparte de ser así de hospitalarios, Colonia tiene una peculiaridad que a mí me interesa muchísimo para hacer entrevistas aquí. Y es que esta ha sido una de las primeras ciudades de Europa y juraría que la primera de Alemania que albergó a todos aquellos que se atrevieron a salir aquí a la calle para decir no a las sanciones y exigir una normalización de las relaciones entre Alemania y Rusia. De modo que lo que me interesaría saber, y voy a ver si puedo conseguir hablar sobre ello con algún ciudadano que entreviste, porque esta, como comprenderéis, es una pregunta algo más complicada, es si todos aquellos que salieron ese día aquí en Köln, en Colonia, fueron más bien una excepción que confirma la regla de toda una Alemania que sí apoya las decisiones de su gobierno en cuanto a las sanciones, o si tan solo es el principio de una ola de protestas que puede que veamos pronto en Europa. Could you tell me, please, what do you expect from this winter?
Yeah, okay, mostly cold weather and I hope it snows. Yeah.
But, I mean, with the new economic situation, do you think it will be tough?
Yeah, for sure. For me, I live alone, so I expect that the costs they don't rise too much. But otherwise, for big families, houses, yeah, it will be hard for sure.
And have the costs already risen for you?
For me, no, not yet. But yeah, for sure. At the end of the year, I will get to see that in my bill.
And last question. I think like a couple of weeks ago, here in Köln, there was a kind of demonstration of people that was like against sanctions. Do you know anything about that? I mean, was that like a unique protest, or is that a general feeling of the people?
Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't live here in Köln.
Ah.
But
and in which city?
I live in Wiesbaden.
And what can you say about the situation there? Do you think people generally like support the sanctions or not?
I don't have a formal opinion on that, sorry.
I mean, your friends or...
No, but I usually don't speak about those topics.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. No
and
worries.
you, what do you expect from the winter?
I think the costs will rise a bit, but we'll get through it, hopefully.
Thank you. Pues sí, lo que os estaba diciendo, el invierno definitivamente está aquí. Complica un poco el tema de hablar con la gente, pero sí os hacéis a la idea de lo que tendrá que pasar la gente aquí a partir de octubre mismamente. Could you tell me, please, what do you expect from this winter?
I think it's going to be colder than before, because every year it's colder than the year before, and yeah, chaos because of the trains and the traffic and everything. Yeah.
And what about the prices
Oh.
and the situation in general?
Well, for me, I'm very lucky because I'm living with my parents, so I don't have to pay it by myself, but it's going to be expensive for us too. And people are scared of blackout because people are going to use. I don't understand everything, but we're scared that we won't have energy for some time. So, and nobody knows how tragic it will be because some people say, oh, it's going to happen for sure, and some say, oh no, it will never happen, and I'm just so confused with everything.
And you?
I'm not as scared, I think, because I've listened to many like not speeches, but like what the politicians said, what they are like trying to do to prevent all this. So I am a bit more convinced that it will be fine. I think there might be like some like shortages. Yeah, and but I think we won't be as affected as some other countries probably. I think we have it pretty good here. So.
And here in Köln, there was like some demonstration against the sanctions. Have you talked with your maybe friends, or is it a general opinion here or not?
You mean the Russian sanctions or?
Yeah, like German sanctions against Russia. I mean,
Okay.
are people here against them or?
I don't know. My friends in my circle, I don't think they're against that. I think it's the right thing to do, and I think we have lots of other options, and we don't have to rely on Russia that much, and we just can be more independent like that. And I think that's a more opportunity to get more independent than anything else.
And you? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think many people I know are just like really hating Russia right now because of so many things that happened, obviously, and so of course they like the sanctions against Russia. And I think it's the right thing to do because we can't just let them do whatever they want to us and also to the rest of the world. So we need to do it.
Okay, and here in Köln, there are also like kind of lots of Russians,
Well.
or
I don't know.
not really.
I don't know many Russians, but some people, also my neighbors are also Russians, but I don't know too many Russian people in Cologne, to be honest. I know some, but not too many.
And do you think the situation with them is like okay, or?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the people I know live here and were born here or lived here from childhood, so they are like pretty much German people to me. Like they come from Russia, but they are as much Germans as I am, I think.
Okay, thank you, girls. Bueno, pues que hace un día un tanto fastidiado para entrevistar a gente porque está empezando a llover y lógicamente todo el mundo corre a resguardarse de la lluvia. Voy a ver si tengo algo más de suerte. 20 minutos, aunque sea. Was denkst du, wird im Winter passieren?
Ja, wird für alle Mann schwer, denke ich, ne, insgesamt. So auf jeden Fall. Ich habe zum Glück bei mir gute Rücklagen gebildet. Bedeutet, ich kann mir das hoffentlich leisten. Man weiß nicht, wie weit es noch geht, aber hoffentlich wird es gut. Für mich zumindest. Aber
Ja.
schwer insgesamt schon, klar.
Und hier in Köln gab es einige Demonstrationen gegen den Sanktionen.
Ja.
Hast du etwas gehört?
Nee, ich wohne selber weiter außerhalb, also oben in der Eifel, und da habe ich davon nichts mitbekommen, so in der Richtung.
Ah, okay.
Genau.
Und was denkst du über die Situation mit den Sanktionen? Bist du...
Tja, ich finde es schwer irgendwie drüber, also ich kann nicht so richtig drüber nachdenken, keine Ahnung, fällt mir irgendwie schwer insgesamt. Ich bin gespannt, wo es noch hingeht. Irgendwie ist es gerade so eine Phase, wo man sich einfach nur vorbereitet auf alles, was passieren könnte, aber keiner weiß, was passiert. Ist irgendwie schwer, aber ja, man kann sich nur vorbereiten, glaube ich.
Ja,
Ja,
Dankeschön.
ja, gerne.
What do you expect from this winter?
In this winter, and my experience, I think in this winter with the gas and the oil and too much expensive going. And my thing is it's in the NATO and the Europe is the wrong side.
Do you think that?
Yes. It's not Putin, it's not Russia. And this war, it's a war for in the business economy. It's not war with violence. It's a war for the business.
What do you think is going to happen this winter? What do you expect?
It's going to get cold this winter.
Yeah, and the situation, the general situation, the economic one.
Well, it's going to be difficult because the price of gas is very high, and a lot of people will have problems paying their gas bills. And we'll see what the German government will be doing to help them. They're doing several programs, but I'm not sure at the moment if it'll be enough.
And here in Köln, there was also like demonstration against the sanctions between Russia and Germany, or Russia and Europe. Have you heard anything about that, or what do you think on this topic?
I've heard about it, but I'm completely for the sanctions. And the people who are against the sanctions usually have other goals in mind than what's good for the people. We have a war in Europe, we have a war in Ukraine, and we have to share our part with it. And if it means it's a little bit colder in the winter, then that's what we have to bear.
Okay, and what do you think about maybe the war in the other regions? I mean, now it's Ukraine, but it also was Iraq or Afghanistan, Yugoslavia, and...
Well, I'm completely against war, and certainly what happened in Afghanistan, in Syria, and before then Yugoslavia is something that was pretty terrible and cost a lot of lives, and we should try to live peaceful if possible.
Yeah, but there was like kind of no sanctions there.
Well, the situation in Yugoslavia was completely different. At that time, you wouldn't know who to sanction. Here it is very clear it was the Russians making a war against the Ukraine. In Yugoslavia, for instance, there were a lot of groups fighting each other, and from the Europeans couldn't really have done sanctions. They interfered with the United Nations later on, and still do, and that was the way they dealt with it. And so you can't compare that with the situation like in Ukraine.
And the last question, are you concerned or have you heard anything about Donbass and what happened there since like 8 years ago?
Well, of course, I'm concerned what happens in Donbass, and I'm not sure if the Ukraine will regain their territories again. And I believe in negotiations. No war has ever been won on the field. Every war has been finished in negotiations. So the sooner we start to negotiate, and Russian and the Ukraine people get together, as difficult as it is, the better it is for the people and for their lives.
So you are like for the negotiations?
Yes,
between...
of course. Yes, I'm for negotiations.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Was really interesting. So, what can you tell me about what do you expect from this winter?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a hard time also for Germany because of the war, and we all have to stick together to help each other with the finances and with our energy problems.
And I heard there was kind of a demonstrations here in Köln like against the sanctions. Would you say it's kind of a, there's like a lot of people that are against them or not so much?
Not so much. It's just a few people who are louder than the majority of us, and the majority of our Germans, I think, are sort of stick with the sanctions against Russia and are against this war, and we cannot have trade or any business with a dictator like Mr. Putin. So that's my opinion, and I think that's the opinion of the majority of the Germans.
Okay, thank you a lot.
no problem.
What do you think is gonna happen in winter? What do you expect?
I'm a little bit scared of the future winter because the prices getting high for gas, and we don't have much money. The prices getting higher. Also, not only gas and what do you say? How you call it? Electricity, but also like normal food prices, like for bread, everything is getting prices up, but we don't get much more money from our work, so it's getting tough. I'm a little bit scared.
And here in Germany, in Köln, there was like kind of demonstration against the sanctions. So what do you think about that?
The sanctions of, sure, we chose our president and the high people to think for us, for the people and the citizens, not only for other people. So getting all the money to them is not that good. I mean, it's okay to help people, but not if it's not good for our own. When we're getting like also a hard life through all those choices.
So you feel yourself a little bit upset with the decisions of the government?
I'm upset, yes, and not very hard because I'm not really obsessed of it, but I'm really scared how it's going to be in the future in winter, and the prices, how we all should save our lives and think about the future. I mean, I'm a young guy, I want to have family, I want to have children, and it's really hard for me right now to pay for my own life. So how do I get family and everything? And in Germany we don't have much young people, and so they wonder when they do all this stuff and wonder why we don't have children and getting no more children.
Oh. And would you say it's kind of a general opinion in Germany?
I don't know if it's, I mean, some people think such things, other people other things, but I think yes, because many people don't take risks anymore. Germany, we don't have our money want to have on the bank or something like that. We just want to have a safe life. The only thing to have today a safe life is not to have any children anymore. So you can work for have enough money for yourself. I think, I don't know if it's a general opinion, but that's my opinion.